It's Open House Thursday. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies. Hello.
Excellent morning.
How you guys doing? Oh, Beajulu, I love your hair.
Thank you.
You know that I am very, very rich right now.
Selling.
You know that I'm very, very rich right now. I would like to buy this,
Anytime
but I'm
you're
very
ready.
rich.
Anytime you're ready.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
I like this
My
time.
weekend is starting from today.
Nice.
I usually like it when my weekend starts on Thursday so that I can use Friday to do other things. I have a lot of work. I have a lot of deadlines to meet. I have a lot of planning to do. And sometimes when I see the workload, I just leave it and lie down. And I'm thinking, instead of standing up to start doing the work, I'm thinking, this work is too much. You know, but I have to get on it. I'm going to be busy today. And my rest day tomorrow, I'll use it to put one or two things together.
How are you?
I really enjoyed yesterday's show.
Yeah.
I was watching on the move.
Homegrown talent.
Yes, the two women were really inspirational. And I also agree with Miriam that Kikelo Matonda is really doing amazingly. I've been following her on social media, her show on the radio, and I saw the Bella Nigeria interview that she did. She's an amazing one. So we just need to talk about, bring more women there. I felt that the show yesterday should have been spaced. The two women
being on the same
each
show.
day. So that we can maximize the best of them. Yes, and
This is there are many more women doing great things, and like the lady in oil and gas said, she's just one amongst many. And so we just need to, if people have high-profile people that they feel we want to celebrate, send them to us via DM and all of that, because we'll read through profile and get in touch.
Aside from the high profile, I even think there are regular people that are doing great things.
Local.
See, this lady, especially both of them actually, they're both perfect. So we want Nigerians who we can see the process. We can see the process, not just the process. We can even see the results.
Yeah.
We can see the results. So and they're willing to tell us that story, because many people always feel like being successful is so far-fetched. And sometimes when you see people who actually go through that, in this Nigeria, not that they traveled abroad and came back and spoke English. They grew internally.
Yes.
Sorry?
Especially the manufacturer woman, talking about how the resources that you might want to import are within, and that how you should look within. In fact, before the show finished, I was just thinking about the within. You know, I know a lot of within
things.
Yeah, very true.
I hope that the audience maximized it as well.
I'm sure, because the feedback was fantastic. But me, what I am personalizing lessons, and I'm trying to implement them in my own business. And I realized that, you know, like every business has ups and downs, seasons that would happen. So it's just about understanding that you're in a season, and when you catch the wind of growth, just jump on.
She mentioned that there's a loss period when you start a business.
Yeah,
manufacturer that,
I'm good.
You know, the first.
I'm good.
Yes.
And I think that last year I changed my prices for my training, and I started to charge my worth. And people were thinking that my staff were saying, nobody will pay for this training. No. Guess what? We're having students.
People paid.
Yes, people pay because they know there's value for it. Yeah. So training starting next week. We already have students. And I'm so excited that people will pay. Don't say, I won't charge my worth because you think somebody will not pay for it. Just know and define what you have. Yeah, I just collected it. You know. Justina, thank you.
All right, let's go on a break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the news. People stay with us. We'll be right back. We'll start with the nation. Dangote loses 240 billion naira in 5 hours to coronavirus. South-South APC leaders snub Obaseki. Man arraigned for possession of human head. Kidnapped core members rescued. Ex-Kwara board chair forged 336 students' signatures. Bayelsa, Babalola Onilaknikpekun protests Supreme Court 60 million naira fine. And ASU passes no confidence vote in Babalaking. Okay, let's start with the human interest story, then come to Dangote for a second.
So
who has the major headline?
The human interest stories, the good news, 4 NYC members were kidnapped on Monday, where on their way out, the bus that they had, about 11 passengers, where, you know, bandits attacked the bus and some of them ran into the bush, but then they kidnapped 4 of them. We thank God that they have been rescued by the police. They've been returned to their camp as we speak at the moment. And initially when they were kidnapped, the bandits put a call through to their parents, I think got their number, put a call through and requested for 10 million naira ransom, but hopefully, thankfully, they did not pay anything before the police were able to rescue them. I'm happy about it.
The Unilag ASU, chapter of ASU, they're asking, they voted, passed a vote of no confidence on the pro-Chancellor Wale Babalake, and they're asking that, the federal government removes him. They said according to them, he gave a misinformation that led to the cancellation of their convocation, and that they do not want him, as they speak presently, he's not within the premises of the university. They don't want him anymore as the pro-chancellor of the university.
And yesterday,
our
major
uncle,
headline,
Dangote lost 240 billion naira in 5 hours to coronavirus. So the fact,
as a result,
because the way the headline says
it was actually after the WHO made that announcement.
So when the WHO announced that COVID-19 is now a pandemic, which means it's spreading across multiple countries around the world, it now costs the stock to
market.
drop. And because stock market dropped across most of Dangote's businesses and many other businesses in Nigeria lost money.
Even the banks are losing money.
Every company, about 20% drop generally, but he lost specifically 240 billion naira. But good news for him, another paper carried the story that his refinery will go live by July this year. So,
moving on now to the Punch, 40 security men keep Sanusi under watch in Nasarawa. Lagos quarantines 4 children, 2 others for coronavirus. Policemen and soldiers operating Okada will be arrested. Ondo policeman kills his wife himself over suspected infidelity. FG shot Eko Bridge in Lagos, declares it unsafe. Unilag lecturers protest, demand Babalakin's removal. Expected petrol pump price drops to 114 naira per litre. I didn't collect 300 million naira cars from EPC, Leon, says Jonathan. And Dangote to begin crude oil production in July. Okay, let's start with this human interest story. Undo policeman kills his wife and himself.
The policeman who was attached to the Undo State Police Command, I think according to the story, he's been having issues of infidelity with his wife. There are a lot of men who call the wife and they've been having that struggle. So this particular day, he just killed her and killed himself. So investigations are still ongoing to find out what really happened, because it was just both of them that were there when it happened. But I wanted to take this story. That's the Lagos State saying that they're planning alternatives to cushion the effect of the ban and restriction of Okada riders. So they are saying that they're going to be releasing buses, short buses, long buses, or different types of buses by April, hopefully. Okay. And they are warning security officials who are now beginning to use their
specifically
uniform men, police and the army, who are now using their Okada and their bicycles to do more like commercial services, to pass those routes that they have been restricted. That if you are caught, you are going to be dealt with.
Okay. So even if there's a ban on Okadas, that the military men who have Okadas are allowed when they're in the uniform to use theirs, but they are not allowed to use
carry
it
commercial.
To carry other people.
And Eko Bridge has been shut. Parts of it actually. The governor was there yesterday.
Seems like they had
to make some adjustments.
Because Mariam complained about it yesterday morning as a banter,
so it's going to get fixed.
Open.
And I think
they just shut it yesterday morning without preparing people, so the traffic was massive.
That's how you prepare. There's no way you can get everybody.
It was no prior information, nothing. It was abrupt.
The quarantine.
Okay. I want to take the quarantine story.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So 3 children and teachers who just came back from the US have been quarantined. They are going to be tested to find out. They've carried the first test out already, and they tested a negative to the virus, but they are going to be tested after 48 hours. They've been able to find one other man who was connected to the index. Yes, the Italian. The Italian, as we speak now, is still secreting the virus, so they are still, but it's reducing. So they are waiting for it to get to 0 level, then they can release him to go. And they are working.
Let's move on.
Nigeria's level of work.
I'm shocked.
I'm sure he will not want to go back to his country right now.
Moving on to Vanguard. President Buhari has no hand in Sanusi's dethronement. Headsmen have taken over our community, says Delta Assembly. Scores wounded, shops looted as thugs attacked Lagos suburb. Ashomole, APC leaders, mall caretaker chairman, as court orders NEC meeting March 17th. And WHO declares coronavirus outbreak a pandemic. Now, so the dethronement, let's talk about that very quickly.
I don't have that. I have the shop looted, and that happened in my area yesterday. Okay. The satellite town, Free Niger, Abule Ado area, there was thuggery and fighting and shop looting yesterday. And someone was killed. Someone very close was walking around and they threw stones. They used all sorts of things to cause that yesterday. According to the reports in the Vanguard, they just reported what happened, but the report on the streets is that there's a power tussle on who will collect parking fee from the trucks and among the Ijegu people and the Oguta people in that Abulado area and Finanja area of
the trucks parked permanently on the road.
Fortunately, the police team from Area E also interfered. Imagine, I drove through. I saw broken bottles. I did not see people fighting. I drove back. I saw traffic. I did not see. As in, I picked my children, went to the hospital. I was just in that circle until I came and later in the afternoon and I saw the police trucks blocked the road and said I couldn't go home. So,
sorry, I want to take the major headline.
Yes.
Or is it Delta State? Want to take now?
Yeah, Delta State.
Let's take Delta State.
Yes. So the people of Delta State are worried because there's more like a siege going on with herdsmen taking over most of their lands, especially in the Anyocha area. They are saying that they are raping their women, they are kidnapping them. They have to pay several amounts of millions to be able to get their people out, and they are not letting them have access to their farmland. So the State Assembly is appealing to the Governor Kowa, that please, you have to do something. You have to have talks with your security officials to ensure that you safeguard the people of your state. And it's my state as well. I wouldn't want it to, really spread more than it's spreading already. They need to do something about it.
Moving on to Nigerian Tribune, oil price crash to cause 3 months hardship, says NNPC GMD. Sanusi, reconciliation efforts wasted, says Abdul Salami. Bill to prohibit use of generating sets before Senate. Affair on Lalipendo seek NBA's intervention over Supreme Court 60 million naira penalty. Why we closed parts of Eko Bridge. ASU warning strike illegal. And Obaseki convened South-South leaders meeting today. Now, the major headline, the NNPC.
According to the NNPC GMD, Nigerians should prepare for at least a 3 months, period of hardship because of according to him, we have about 50 oil cargoes waiting, but they don't have a landing space because of the coronavirus and a lot of
takers. They have it. They don't have anybody. They have 50 cargoes. They don't have anybody to buy them. They are there. They've been produced.
I think that's what last week.
On the waterways. And he was saying this when he was talking with talking at the event of the CBN yesterday.
How is it affecting us? Is that there will be petrol scarcity or what is it
As
saying?
it is now, there's a drop in price.
Right now, we've produced, because now we're actually beating all our records. We might be hitting up to 53 million barrels per day.
Yeah.
And then we're trying to struggle to 2.1. Now we're hitting it, and we have 50 cargoes. Nobody ready to buy.
Hey.
So because China has reduced purchase of this crude oil. So the issue now is that budget has been now been slashed. So from 57, which is our budget, now it's about $32 or $30.
Between $30 to $20 per barrel between this Saudi
and Russia issue. Sure. We don't know how low it's going to go.
And the price has crashed. Yes. So now I get what the
aside from this quickly, we need to start thinking of alternatives. Most of these countries are actually developing their own oil. If they say tomorrow they are not going to,
are we starting to think?
No.
They should not. They should give it to them. They are not buying anymore. What is going to happen to us?
They say very soon we'll be drinking our oil. That this Dangote refinery kicks off immediately, so that we don't have to sell our crude to refine it.
And we can even give some to the modular refineries.
The major worry is about local consumption, the one we will use locally.
Because we have the market, right? Yes, so it's just for us to refine it. There's another story I wanted to take. Sanusi, let's talk about Sanusi now. Our president,
I want to get to Daily Trust so you can see the picture.
Garba Shehu is saying that they have no hands in it, and
how it has nothing to do we don't know. So also the Kano governor, the Kano government. Wait, now how it's possible we don't know. But the Kano government also is saying that we did not banish him, and I'm wondering who carried that helicopter and go there. All those policemen. Whose commissioner of police was there? Now president say he don't know. That means the IG don't know. But the security apparatus used to move him from here to there, they did not know.
Okay, so
they are talking to us.
Our final paper, if we can, is Daily Trust. Coronavirus trouble looms in Nigeria's 50 oil cargo standard. We talked about that. And this is the picture story Nima was talking about earlier.
2-bedroom.
Front view of the deposed Emir Sanusi's new home. Senate wants importation, sale, and use generators ban. Let's take that story. Who has that?
Yes, so the Senate yesterday introduced a bill seeking to ban importation of and sale and use of power generators. But they have excluded, they are saying that if you are caught buying, using, selling, you have you'll be sent to jail for 10 years. Now, they are saying also that they've excluded some organizations, like I wanted to quickly read them out. Those ones who use generators for 24 hours, institutions with elevators, escalators, airports, railway stations, nursing homes, and healthcare services. So they know that these ones need to use generators because we do not have light. They have excluded them. What is remaining now is the individuals. That is just the whole thing. Because
this is how we make laws that we will not be able to enforce.
So they have excluded. There's a ban on importation and use of generator.
As past first
a
reading.
bill is just past first reading.
We still need to understand.
Yes,
Let's call all our connections in
ask the
the
questions.
National Assembly, because we know enough people there to get clarity. Exactly. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to us for now. Let's go on a break.
It doesn't make sense.
We understand the rationale, but is it realistic?
There's no rationale.
Pollution.
Which pollution?
Pollution can be a rationale, but the fact that
Gives us power.
yes, we understand the issue
Then
of global
people will
warming.
Stop buying generators. You think we like to buy
But
generators? We don't.
should we make it a hot topic?
Yes, it should be. No, but not today.
Not today.
We need somebody.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll focus on our real hot topic, which is gisting. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Most times, we try to judge people based on their looks. Beauty is only skin deep, as the saying goes. Moreover, a lady's appearance doesn't tell us anything about how kind they are. So we ask, what constitutes a woman's beauty? Her looks or her character? Let's hear your thoughts. You can call us on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YoVTVC so you can read your tweets. And this show is mainly for young people who are struggling, especially for young ladies in the university who are getting the attention they never got, and they don't understand how to handle it. And many of them are confused on defining who they are as regards to their physical and their internal attributes. So I like to...
And some not getting the attention they feel they deserve.
Yes, and some not getting the attention they feel they deserve. So let's have this conversation, because a lot of young people are in this space and we need to try to share a bit of our stories and help them out. Yes.
So when we got on the show, the first few years on this show, I know I kept saying I didn't want to be acknowledged or identified based on my looks. I wanted people to see what's in my head. And that's because for a long time, I've learned that I've met people that would say, I met one babe, she was so fine, and then I had a conversation with her, and in 30 minutes I know this, I cannot have a conversation with this person because the person cannot reason on the level I want to reason. But that is changing now because social media is creating a different paradigm. People are looking at the body first. People are, I know one-on-one people that have gone to do butt surgery. One-on-one, not one, not two, not three, not four. One.
I only know one. I know one.
One-on-one that they've gotten their body reshaped. Shockingly, one of them is in her 20s. She hasn't even had a child yet.
Hey,
so I worry at what is happening to the next generation and the desire to be perfect outside, forgetting that whatever is outside is temporary. It is at best. Every surgery would only give you temporary fix if the internal is having problems. So what defines beauty is not your look. What defines beauty...
We'll come to the solution a bit later.
What defines beauty is not your look. And what defines beauty should not be your look. And so don't let your look, the way you look, present good or bad. Because some people say I'm not beautiful. I'm one of those that I don't have the good looks, but I have brain. That shouldn't define you. That for me is the goal. And I'm a makeup artist, so I make people beautiful. So, yeah.
You people are liars. You will make heaven. So beauty is an English word, Abi. So according to the dictionary, beauty is a combination of qualities such as shape, color, or form that pleases the aesthetic senses, especially the sight. There are other definitions as well, but this one just fits into what we're talking about. I would like us to separate beauty and character. They are two different things. And growing up, you know, the idea of beauty, the way society sees beauty changes from time to time. I remember when we were growing up, it was the Orobos that were beautiful.
Really?
Yes, my time. Oh God, when they wear their school uniform, everything is you'll be looking for us inside the uniforms. You know, it was the very plumpy, shapy that was seen to be beautiful. After a while, I think with Agbani and Oluchi, beauty in the African sense changed. That was when people now started seeing, no, I'm just telling you society.
Seeing beauty.
Yes, started seeing beauty as the tall, slim, and that was when some of us now started shining, because at that other time, it was not our era to shine. So society defines beauty, so to speak, but I have come to a realization that everybody is beautiful. We are all born beautiful. The shape of your nose is different from the shape of my nose. It doesn't mean that your shape is less beautiful than my shape. But we're designed to be different, to fit in collectively, to be, you know, to have variety, so that everybody does not look the same way.
But it's easy for you to say that now.
Young people, no.
Yeah, because a young person is seeing you every day.
No.
You look made up, you look all together. So is that misinformation, that what we're communicating?
So the problem now is because people do not believe. There is a low self-esteem from the inside, so you do not believe that you're enough. And the way people talk about children, you go visit children, say, this one is finer than this one. You start putting it in the minds of the kids that my sister is finer than me, and they grow with it. When they get outside, they start comparing themselves. You hear people having heated arguments that this one is more beautiful than this one. How? We are all designed to be, we are all beautifully made, designed. So you need to understand from within that you are beautiful, even if you're short or
what
fat
you're saying,
or thin.
Yeah, what you're saying is what we hear. I don't want us to repeat what we always say. I don't want us to continue to reiterate this narrative. We all hear these things.
Okay.
I'm saying that let us speak. Yeah, let us find the root cause of these things. And you mentioned one, as you're growing up, the fact that people are already, they're putting it subconsciously, so that as you grow up, you start believing that you're actually not beautiful. But there are other factors. Let us now talk about how are we today defining beauty?
Let me even first of all talk about what I understand by what makes a woman look or character, because this narrative has been since when we were children. So when you're a beautiful girl, you dare not have a standard. When you have a standard where you cannot take certain things, where you approach somebody and a man is talking to you and you make certain demands like, oh, Niwa, you don't have character. They did not raise you. Somebody dares not insult you and you turn back and say, how dare you talk to me like that? It will be about age and a lot of things. And we're not putting it locally now when we start to talk about the inside and outside thing. Yes, there are serious issues, but these were terms used, the way I see it, to demean women. It was largely used. What makes a man? Nobody bothers about that.
What makes a man handsome?
If you're a beautiful woman and you dare be like, you need to be like this. You can't talk to me like this. You make certain demands. That's how I kept. That's how I. So when I read this, I just remembered back then. While in school, you'll be sitting with your classmates, maybe in a religious gathering, and a lot of people will be saying, fast forward today, they now agree, all of them agree totally.
I'm not clear either.
It wasn't your reality then.
Okay.
What was the reality then was that the girls who wanted certain things in life, who wanted career, who dressed well, who made demands, who were focus-driven and all that, the people felt it's because of their looks or maybe the confidence with which they carried themselves that made them lose character. They merged it completely with rudeness. So when you're demanding and you're clear about where you're focused and where you're going, people will start to say you do not have character.
Okay,
that's the reality with which I grew up in.
And I've seen a lot of separate beauty and character and deal with it differently. Because many times people feel like people that are not, women that are not fine have better character. They use the character to compensate for their beauty. And they say that girls that are fine tend not to have character because they know they are fine. You accept them because of their beauty. But the real issue Mariah wanted us to discuss when she introduced the show is that young girl I see that come and meet me and they say, I want your dress, I want your wristwatch, I want your wig. And I'm asking, what job are you doing? So, and because they are feeling like if I have all of this, I'll be fine. I didn't have it in my 20s. I didn't because I could not afford it. And my eyes were not even there. All I was thinking about was my business. Now, another crucial part is, as a makeup artist, I do miracles.
Wait, are you marketing yourself?
No.
Wait.
The reality
are you marketing
is
yourself?
some people have facial structures that with just a few adjustments, with just a few beauty tricks, would transform them. That's a fact. We can't deny the fact that some people have nose that are bent. Some people have nose that are pointed. That's a fact.
I'll come to you. Okay. I mean, in the makeup room the other day, I saw a young lady. She was passing out for NIC and she came to come and make herself up.
I saw her too.
She was all there trying to get, and I just remember when I was passing out.
I spoke to her.
List on your mind.
That was a fact. I wasn't even thinking. I was like, what in the world? You're passing out. You're going to be marching. You're going to be under the sun.
You're doing a photo shoot.
I'm saying. So, how are young people understanding beauty today?
It's Instagram.
And we are part of the fault. Okay. Some of us are at fault because, yes, we're projecting this perfect look of ours, but we must continually remind them of the imperfections.
The perfect look.
Yeah,
did we shut the confident young girl down to the extent that she now focuses on her external than her internal, because we thought we again made this example of her not being a woman of character. Some girls, because they believe that they have that low self-esteem, will take a lot of rubbish just to show that they have character. They will quickly kneel. These are issues that have even come into how women gain the trust of families that they marry into. You fake the character that you do not have because you think you do not have because you don't have the confidence to show your real self. Before it got to beauty, it had taken a lot of things. Okay. You will go and wash plate and do a lot of things. That's the way I am seeing it, the way the reality
You're
is
seeing it being
around
different
me.
from what it was.
It's not about a lot of girls know. They pretend.
I wanted to disagree with some. You made a lot of points, by talking about how in your teens, those were not the things that appealed to you, But I also want us to disagree with, to separate it as well, because some young people want to have all of that because they are greedy. They are not content with what they have. Growing up the way we were raised there was time for everything. Yeah. When I was in the university, I remember somebody came to my room and was like, you are face of Del, so you don't even have a TV in your room. I said, if I get a TV now, when I start working, what do I look forward to? I need to wait. When I start earning money, I can buy a TV. My father did not send me to school to get me a TV. So there's greed, there's oju kokoro. They are looking at you. They are not concerned about your hustle. You sit here every day and you talk about how you go to Ibadan to go and do this, how you don't sleep at night, you are pursuing your rice business, they don't see that. They just see that you're looking fine today. You have this blonde hair and they want to be like you. That is greed. And we need to nip it at the level of parenting.
What's the point of greed? Probably maybe lack of proper home training sometimes, because some parents, because whether we like it or not, we had faulty parenting. Yeah. Many teenagers, unfortunately, underwent poor parenting. Yeah. So in fixing it now is where we need to tell the real stories, and that's where I want to drive from the point of this conversation too. Those of us that are actually doing it legit must be willing to show the path and share. And stop living only this nice picture-perfect look on Instagram. People must see that you actually had issues of self-esteem. People must know that you've broken up with a few people, that you made poor decisions. People must know.
Okay, so
we say it.
Do you know what?
We say it. I write it. I have dedicated my Instagram page to be a value channel. And I consistently put it, but they don't see that. When I write all those long stories, you will see like 400 likes. When I post slay picture, you will see 1,000, 2,000 likes. Yes. So people gravitate to what they really want. Yes. So this platform would help us space that message a bit more, but they would gravitate to what they really, really want. And that is the acceptance that they get from looking good. And the society accepts when you look good, they tilt towards you. Yes, they will pander to you. You get more gifts, you get more attention. So as long as we're not ready to back it up with the right, back up our words of the character, all of that, with the action plan later, then we're not serious.
We're going to quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation and take a few calls. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. To Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So,
So I know as much as we try as people who are in the fore to ensure that we show all of the processes, the hard work we are doing, it's not just about slaying and all of that. People will, like Topman said, will only follow what they want to follow. And I wouldn't want us to sit here and take responsibility for people's choices. When you go to a family, you can say that they have 6 children, but not all of them turn out the same way. Some would follow the paths that they are meant to follow, even if their parents are pastors or whatever it is. They see that these people have lived good lives. They will still find their path at the end of the day. So I wouldn't sit back and take the responsibility for young people around me who are choosing to misbehave. I had a help in my house. She grew up with me. And she decided to take another route. My kids are different from that. And I raised all of them together. I never treated anybody differently. But that was where she was more after my hair and all of that. And the values I was giving to them, my daughters picked up the values. She didn't. So was I supposed to kill myself for her? We're going to do what we can do as people who are out there, saying that focus on your character, focus on this, focus on that, and look presentable. There's nothing wrong with being beautiful. You can be a total package.
Okay, all right, Nima, what are your thoughts on it?
No, I've said earlier that, maybe our realities are different. The way I see it, I think it's a term used to usually further demean women and make this conversation about look and character is not necessary. All the time I've seen it play out. I've seen women give more than they should for it. Over the weekend, I was having a conversation. A young girl was being asked out, and she made a demand that I cannot be visiting your family before
marriage.
What is, I'm taking you home. And the first thing was like, is it because you're fine that you don't have character?
Okay.
So usually this conversation, when it happens locally, in fact, I would have loved to do the show in total Yoruba just as that conversation happened, so that, maybe the message will get out there, is that the conversation of your look against your character is usually to demean you. You're who you are. Whether you're beautiful or not, be accepted as a package. So you don't even bother. But maybe when you come to the issues of makeup, maybe the people around me, of course, are like me, don't have that issue. But we don't bother about those things. What we bother about is whether a person can aspire to be anything she wants to be, as against somebody else's rule. You don't tell a young girl who has dreams that if you marry me, you can't do this and that and that. And then when she makes the man, they say, when they train you, you will know that where you are going is about the husband and not, you don't have a life. That's the way I see it. So the conversation really
So for me, I would say, and this message is to the 20-something-year-old watching that wants to look like me. You want to have human hair, you want to have makeup, you want to dress up, look glam, and have people compliment you. There is a time for everything.
Yes.
And there's a process that goes behind the scenes.
Yes.
I cannot count how many times I'm doing micro shading till 9 p.m. in the night to collect just that small 80,000 naira.
I'm telling you.
So don't take your time. Understand that beauty, when money land your pocket, you go fine.
Tell them.
When serious money bath your body, you go fine. You will spend every week at the spa, your skin will glow.
Touching your body.
But if you do it at the wrong time, you will miss the best parts of your life. When you're young, you're energetic. That is the time to hustle. Not the time to be slaying. Leave slay, you will slay later.
Slay will come.
Oh, wow,
slay
interesting. Well, for me, I know that when I was in university, I wouldn't come across as the most attractive person because I was very, very, I'd gone underwent my accident, I had to shave my head, I was bald on the left side, I had scar, I had gained a lot of weight because I couldn't exercise, I was on a wheelchair. So I didn't look the part, trust me. And eventually, by my final year, I've started walking. But I still, my friends were obviously saying, I had a friend, she's late now. She used to buy like $300 shoes, $400 shoes, because she could afford it. I couldn't. I was using Payless. That was my store. Like that, I mean, the Payless like under $10 or so, maximum you buy. That's where I was buying. My first $100 shoe was when I graduated. When it was like a gift to myself after graduation. And I remember those shoes, they were boots for Macy's, $100. I had saved
to get it.
And I wore it with confidence.
Joy.
I wasn't slaying at the time, but for me at that moment, I was a gift. So as Tokwe has said, there's this time and season for everything. Yeah. And I think what I like to leave our viewers and our watching is find role models. You might not have mentors at that time, but find role models. I had that. I came from a polygamous family, and the modeling I saw was not very, very. At the time, it wasn't something I wanted. But I saw other people. I saw other families, other women. Some slay, others not slay. But I was able to now put that together to define who I want to be. So I think we'll wrap up on this. Nema, do you want to find out? Because I know you're okay. You want to find any final thoughts on this?
Yes. For me as well, it's not always about also finding role models. As a young person, I always tell them when I talk to them, you need to know what you want. I was lucky at a very early age to know what I wanted for my life. So I knew that I couldn't afford this now, but that my focus wasn't there. This is where I'm going. I'm aiming to go to school, graduate, be the top of my class, come out, get a good job, I had that and I followed it. So I didn't have anybody who I was looking up to. I was just being me, and I knew my background. If I fail, I cannot come home. So that helped me. So you can also know what you want as a young person. have a priority list. Like, where do I want to see myself in the next 5 years? It just helps you from there.
Fantastic. I think we can end on that. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll discuss another topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So now, online we saw another story. We're not sure how true this is, but it seems like something we can discuss. A female engineer allegedly said how she was rejected by a female managing director who doesn't want someone getting pregnant in the middle of a project, according to the story. She said, I'm supposed to go for an interview today for a project management role, but they canceled because the MD, who's a woman, found that I'm a lady. Reason was that she wants a male because she doesn't want anybody getting pregnant on the job. Now, obviously, Twitter went on, everybody went crazy, making comments. How can she do this? How did you know this? You know, but taking the context of this, people go through this. Companies make these kind of tough decisions on deciding who they don't want to hire, the kinds of male, female, what's the status, single, not married, the whole works. But what are your thoughts on this? Is that the right decision? Is that the right process? You can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet us at TVC. Please hashtag YourVTVC so we can read your tweets. We're not talking about how true or untrue this tweet is. We're talking about the actual story. Because you guys own companies anyway, and we all kind of own companies. Do you think it's right to request for a specific type of person for a specific role, especially when it's gender related?
As a business owner, the first thing you do is to put yourself and your business first. You are the one who's going to be paying the bill, paying the salary and the wages. Good. Now, as a mother, I know how it is to be pregnant. I've been pregnant 3 times. And for me, I was fortunate to be among those who, from my meeting, I walk into the labor room and the next morning I walk out with my baby and the next minute I'm cooking pepper soup for a husband somewhere. So I had that strength to go through that pregnancy while I was working. But I have seen people who, when they are pregnant, everything shuts down. They can't do anything. And if it's a multinational that they already have people who, you know, somebody can always fill in when you're not there and relieve you of the job and you can still get your money and all of that, it's okay. But if it's a business that is growing, you need to, and this is something that we are doing field projects. I need you to be right there, present, up and running, and you come in and in a few months you're pregnant and probably you're those types that you can't handle yourself when you're pregnant and we have to be carrying. Some people actually carry cup, you know, to do that stuff everywhere they go. I need to consider that, am I going to be losing money at this time? Or shouldn't I have gone for somebody who would be there to give me, there are even certain companies where you get into and you sign an agreement that in the next 2 years, you're not going to be pregnant.
So you agree with the MD?
Yes, I agree because this is business. It's profits first and money first. And it's not about gender because she's actually a woman. She may have experienced 1 or 2 things in that line.
But the angle from this was the fact that she expected that because the MD was a woman, she could have been more considerate and understand where she's coming from. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay. Nima can decide to do legal angle of what is right or wrong. I have employed a woman that was just married. And as I was employing her, I knew that I was entering one chance. Because she didn't have makeup skills. I trained her. Nima was just telling me that, what contract do you sign? So I trained her, and in just 1 year, we have a good relationship now. She keeps in touch with me. But I told, our contract was that she would work with me for 2 years. I'll train you free on makeup. Within the first year, she got pregnant.
Hey,
she tried to walk through the pregnancy, but of course, there'll be sleeping, there'll be vomiting. She was weak, and I can totally relate because I'm useless the first 3 months of my pregnancy. So I knew that she had challenges. And immediately she gave birth. I was thinking 3 months she would come back to work. What is almost 6 months, about 6 months now, and she told me that her husband said that the baby is too small to be left alone at home. Her husband
Which makes sense.
Her husband said that. I said, but there's my studio that she was working in is no good. There's a daycare upstairs. She'll be downstairs. The daycare is upstairs. And I said, you can actually, yeah, you were no good now. You can do it. Then she now said, I'm now selling jewelry and kineko. So my investment into her by training her has gone. And as a business person now, the next person that came that told me she just got married a month ago, I said, sweetheart, you'll get pregnant. Say amen. Said amen. I said, you cannot be my staff. Because when she gets pregnant, that's the end. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
So for you, it's a business decision.
Yes, it is.
And so there's no one straight answer to this, whether legal or not, because the power to hire and fire is that of the employer. That's the basic principle of law. But then again, it's not, as I said, one straight answer. So it's every peculiar situation. Maybe this was a contract, because I'm looking at this again and thinking, this person had a deadline to meet. He needed a staff that will meet it. The conversation on whether the person is, the woman that they were trying to, that's the employee now, is going to be committed to that contract and that deadline was not had. If probably she had the conversation with her that, see, under this circumstance, because the federal government do it, all of them, they do it in this country and they have laws to back it, that within this number of years in service, if you're in the military, within this number of years in service, you can't get pregnant. Some establishments will say, you can't even get married. So that when you are married, it's secret. You cannot get belle in customs, in the NDLEA and the military within a number of years of employment. So these are conversations that are ongoing. Some people have found it to be discriminatory, but when we look practically at it, some we must allow to go.
Yeah, let me come to the part of discriminatory, because some have argued that, listen, in this 2020 that we are in, companies must put proper processes in place for all eventualities. Now, you have somebody who is very good. She's an engineer. She's top of her career. She's the best for this job. And say, oh, because she's a woman, you won't hire her. What you should do as a responsible company is to have a backup, somebody who, when she's down, can take up in the meantime. But at least that's a company who is being progressive, who knows that I need this talent. I'm not going to lose this talent because you're a woman. So I think it's the easy way out to say, sorry, I can't hire you, instead of you putting the process in place to ensure that you don't lose that talent.
So if you've been hired and then you were sacked, based on that ground, you can go to court to question that discrimination.
But so you're about to hire somebody who you know is the best.
If you're about to hire and you set your criteria, we don't have any breach here. When you have set your criteria and said, I don't, like Tokwe said, no, you can't work with me, you can't do, you don't even have to tell the person. I think telling the person is even complicating the issue. You just simply set your criteria and you don't take the person. Now, proper companies, how they do it is that when you have hired somebody good and you think that you are afraid this might happen, this eventualities might happen, you create a backup. So there are companies where you can actually hire on a contract on a specific number of terms. Okay, now Nima is pregnant and usually she'll go on bed rest. 6 months to 7 months bed rest. And I think she's a good hand. What you simply do is, during that period of time, you can give somebody a sub or limited contract that for this number of period, before the person I think is best at what she does comes back, where that person too can show themselves so that if that person doesn't even come back, you can retain. But employers always calculate costs. They're capitalists. They consider their profits first, and you can't blame them, really.
Okay. I started by saying, depending on the size of the company, I have worked in a multinational where they have plans for all of these. You know, when somebody is going, there's always somebody to back up. They can even get the person who's backing up to just sign a contract for a few months so that when the main person comes back, they are relieved. But let's also not forget that we have companies that are just struggling, that are just starting. And the resources that they have, the welfare that they have will just cater for the people who are actually there doing the work. Right. So they need to put all of these in consideration. It would be unfair to say it's discriminatory because it still depends on the nature of the job and what exactly they need that person for. If the company has said we don't hire women at all, that's a different ball game. But to say that we don't need somebody to be getting pregnant at this moment, but in this particular case, I feel that they would have had a conversation with her because the lady was feeling, they didn't even give me a chance. I'm not even married. I don't even plan to anytime soon. You know, so if you just make it open.
Well, I'll have to apologize to our viewers. Our phone lines are down. That's why you can't reach us. We certainly apologize, but please do tweet to us. We get those the tweets. Go ahead.
Chiemelana Gideon says, well, it's the choice of the MD to decide whether she wants a man or a woman, though people prefer male gender in the case that they would have time, and it also depends on the nature of the job. Probably it is not a female work, so I agree with the MD.
No, that wasn't the issue. Olaya Feldspa says this is applicable everywhere. You can't just blame the company. It's better she's left because if she was given the job, they would drain her. That's talking about how pregnancies
But we have to wrap up on this, but I think based on what Obiajulu has said earlier, depending on the company, because I work for a company that is a multinational, and they understand that I can't be there in the mornings because I have to do the show.
Okay.
So they have somebody who is supporting in these early hours
Till you come
till
in.
I come in later on. So because they understand and then they are
have the
paying for my
means.
talent. So those are depending on how strong the company is.
Yeah.
But for smaller businesses, hey, as Nima said, it is their own
how
decision.
valuable you are as an individual. Let people that want to seek employment grow the skill they have to the point where even if you are pregnant and you say, I want to work from my house, you have so much value in you that they would employ you despite the fact that you are not physically available. So
Yes, now we've seen pictures where members of parliament or something are carrying their babies and feeding.
Right there. People are working from home.
people work from home
Because of corona.
Just grow value.
If you need to be on the field as an engineer, you can't work from
That's
home.
all we can take on this. I just hope we can get one more topic in. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So this final topic is close to heart, but I'm just, there's a saying in our society that our in-laws are kings. In case of this, should you, because of respect for your in-laws, allow them to prescribe a drug like agbo for your child? What are your thoughts on this? Please join us again. I heard that the phone lines are down, but please do tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. I have been through this path, and I'm not going to say my own yet. Let me hear your own first. Let me start with Nima, because this is Nima's area of specialty. Prescribing agbo for children. Please. Go ahead.
I believe in the agbo. Yes, I took a lot of them growing up, and so what works for you is different. But whether somebody can come inside my house in the name of in-law and give my child agbo is another issue.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because I take control. I take total responsibility for my children, and I don't look at anybody's face. I remember when I wanted to do exclusive for my first daughter, and my mother and my mother-in-law had a problem with it, that no, there are certain agbos that they must give. In fact, my mother, she will cook the pot and everything. So I just wait for her. When she's done cooking, she spends a lot of money buying all the material to cook the agbo. And the moment she asks, are you not going home again this weekend? If she leaves for the weekend to go home, she comes back to an empty pot. I throw it out every weekend. And I know that she's watching. She will not forgive me for this. So when my mother-in-law saw me pouring out my mother's agbo, she just knew to fall in line. Yes, because I don't have child that somebody will be doing experiments with.
I'm saying.
The thing is that they didn't even come easy. My husband was still talking about it this week. They didn't come easy, so I don't play about it. Everything I do with my child. In fact, I had a domestic accident in the house last week, and the thing really shook me. So as they were treating the child first aid, I was taking pictures, and they were like, why? I said, you people would just treat my child. I'll just pack the child and go home. It's not possible now. All the pediatricians that I know on my WhatsApp receive photo.
Are they doing the right thing?
Is this child going to be okay? What do you think? In fact, by the time I gathered the advice, my husband was like, hey, Nima, I wonder for you, how do you worry like this? It's my child. I don't joke with my children. So yes, the in-laws are kings. Traditionally, we should respect them. Whatever they've done, trusted and tested, you don't just come and tell me, I gave your husband agbo, and so as a result,
time don't pass.
no, it's not going. What are you saying?
Let me come to
you see, this thing,
Obiajulu.
we'll dig it very well.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know, when you start your life in your in-laws' house is different. It's a different ball game because it's not your house. One, you are a tenant. You are
A visitor.
You are a visitor. So we are praying for you to hammer so that you can go and start your own. So the mother-in-law practically takes control of everything. But one thing I thank God for is the fact that I'm a very assertive person, and from with me, what you see is what you get. I won't pretend today and be like this tomorrow. From the onset, they knew that if I have to go to these children, if I have to give certain things, I have to run it by BC, or else this house will be let loose. So in as much as I was there, and they knew that, because my mother-in-law actually is very good with all this agbo, she's trado and all of that, yes. So she knew, but then she would come and run it by me, that, see, oh, this one works, and this is good, and this is that. And the one I feel, okay, let me try, let it not look like I'm very difficult, I will try, and I see results. The one I feel, I don't like this one, you know, I don't take this one. So I found a way to, and I also thank God for the respect she had for me, because I go to work, I could come back and they have given my children something, but she always waits to run it by me. Normally, I don't like agbo. In fact, I don't take anything that is bitter. I don't even take drugs.
Yeah, I have a confession to
we take agbo
so
very
you
well.
can't just
They
do
have
it.
sent me agbo. We don't use it. In fact, what I usually do is just find somewhere.
I hide it.
I don't use it. I've never used it. Now, my parents, growing up, my mother gave me.
Okay.
But the truth is that I think I've gone past that level.
Yeah.
And a few people send me agbo. I won't mention.
work?
I won't.
Did it work?
I can't remember. I was a child, but I know I drank it. I
But
don't
you
know
were
if it was-
fine. That's
I don't
the
know.
thing.
See, I don't know.
The
If it
essence
was,
is
I know
that-
she never gave me paracetamol afterwards. I don't know. But the problem is that I don't know. I can't
really
remember.
nice person.
But when I get agbo, honestly, I don't drink it. I know my husband tries to insist on certain things sometimes, but I honestly don't give my kids.
I don't
now,
like it.
I don't like anybody give my children anything behind me.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very clear on those rules. But my mother-in-law has never really forcefully. Never, ever.
The respect
at all. Because my husband said he's always there. He monitors it. But his mother has never been very forceful. What are your own thoughts on this?
So for me, my mom is the one that, it's from my own mom's end. My mom is the one that wants to take care of the children. And the thing is, I'm an only child, and I never had to take care of any other person's child until I had mine. So I was a rookie of all rookie, and I had twins.
You allowed her
so
to
I didn't even touch
do
anything.
what you got to do.
When they were beating, I was shocked when they would shake the baby. My mother-in-law came, shake upside down. They will turn the hand. They will massage. They will do everything. I'll just be like this by the door, and I'll be watching. But I don't know better. Because if I had knowledge, I would have a basis for fighting or complaining. But I didn't know. And she's raised many children, and she's doing, and the baby, and when they finish, the baby will just sleep. When they finish that entire process, the baby will cry. Then next day, they just sleep. So I said, this thing must be working. I didn't fight it. But there are some cases where some mother-in-laws have gone too far. And I know some case, one friend of mine, who she traveled to give birth to her last born in America, and before she came back, her children were already reading Kewu. The mother-in-law, there is a Muslim and Christian.
Send them to Arabic school.
Yes,
That's
Muslim
not
and
bad,
Christian
though.
family. They had already agreed before marriage between husband and wife that the children will follow you to church. The man is not he's a Muslim, but he wasn't a praying person. Immediately she left the house. He said the moment she left the house, the next thing they did, they scraped off the children's head and started taking them
That's
to
the normal
read
process in Islam.
the Quran every weekend. And then she was not like, she of course, if they had that discussion, the woman knew where she stood. And the woman waited until she traveled and took the children. So my message is for those kind of women. These are not your children.
That was even a separate matter. On the issue of the forcefully giving agbo, I allow certain agbo I know, because I know the akporo. When it's well made, it's an antidote for poison. So it works, yes, it works well. And when I trust it, and in fact, if you get me the one from Ijebu, I will give my child, because I use it. I believe in it. The agbo jedi, if it's well made, and I can tell you good one. Once you do not put their kafura, and Africans believe in the kafura. Kafura is what the scientists have questioned. But the tree barks and all that, all the roots and herbs, they are our own.
Maybe because you know it, I don't know it. Because I am not against agbo, and it's important. My issue is dosage. My issue is also not knowing the content of those things. I don't know the trees.
But they do the dosage. Because I remember my mom and my
They give you a full cup to drink.
When the child is purging too much, and they be like, if we did not get to the zinc and all the other ORS things, they will say, so we used to get the clean distilled bottled water to prepare and soak the herbs in. And then, they will tell you, these are the ones.
Lemongrass is good for malaria.
And I can call you to, but me, I don't do agbo. But there's another part of what I like us to touch on, the fact that people take children to Ile Alagbo to see their future. What's that about?
To display their future.
It's not any Alagbo.
Alagbo is future.
Alagbo does not do future.
Alagbo is simply an herbalist. Someone who uses roots and herbs to treat people. And they work for different ailments. In fact, a friend of mine, their child had this stooling issue as a baby. Less than 3 months old, he would not stool. He was having swollen stomach. So all of them, even I thought, take this child to see a pediatrician. That's what the mother-in-law just visited and said, which kini? Is kini kon lo she?
One back.
And when she came with the thing, by almost toilet, man. the child went toileting normally. And
that was damaged.
You know,
Calm down.
today, I've decided to shut up my mouth when it comes to advising against such things in certain places. Because the woman probably knew what she was doing. There was another one I saw. This woman gave birth. She's Igbo. I don't know why that culture is. It was prevalent. What happened in the hospital? She was giving that baby formula, and the baby was purging. Within the ward, we're seeing her, and she refused to breastfeed her child. She didn't put the child to breast.
Why?
So when it happened again in my neighborhood, I went to the woman. She could see. She said, no, my mama, they come. Until my mama come, I no go put the baby to breast. And, you know, the baby has to feed. And I was like, so when the mother now came, brought a particular herb with which she cleaned her breast milk. Because her breast milk, in their gene, will be poisonous to her child without using that herb to clean. So what you don't understand.
What you don't know.
What you don't understand.
This one of they say yewo. They go and check the future.
That's
yes. It's that you are going to check which of my children will be the most prosperous. Now, if it is done with consent, some people deliberately go and check. But you see some grandparents who say, I'm just taking these children for the weekend. They will not take them to go and check their future and now tell you that this, your last born, is the best. Then you will now see a different behavior towards that child. And for me, it is a no-no. It shouldn't be done with consent, without consent. Don't do it. Nobody knows the future. We know tomorrow is Friday and we're going to groove, but we don't know what the future is. And so we shouldn't keep going to search.
That's an important point, because
we shouldn't go to search
mothers
what will happen.
do that. Mothers do that a lot, right? But I know my mom, she brought agbo, I think, back in the US then. My mother, my sister-in-law did not. My brother was really please give my children. You know how they always feel as if anything come from Africa. Yes, Africa, yes, give them agbo. My sister-in-law said, please don't give my child that stuff. You know, she put her foot down on it. Of course, my mother accepted. But my brother was very, very troublesome. He forced his children to drink that agbo.
It was his mother that brought it, Abi?
No, yes, it was my mom that brought it. But we got in trouble for it. Because, of course, the kids started purging.
Oh, my God.
The kids started purging.
It's detoxifying them.
It's
detoxifying them.
If you see the 911 she called.
Which 911? They'll be all right.
Eventually, they were all right.
The truth is that all of us here, we are all right. And that's the fact. Yes, that they work. That's the fact that
they will use their agbo. They will use to wash your body.
They
have the one you will drink.
The point is that do we want civilization or do we want enlightenment or not? And if we do, nobody's against hanging out. I think make my point. Nobody's against agbo. Nobody's against local herbs. In fact, I prefer that we do it properly. But once we have it properly done such that the people can actually appreciate and accept it. Probably right now, we see these people holding, walking around. All sorts of agbo. And they find the results. We see these hard, strong-faced men that drink it. I don't want my husband.
Those ones are not drinking agbo. No.
Every man that drinks that thing, they look so.
They're not drinking agbo. Those people you see with the ad face, red eye. They're not drinking agbo. They know what they are drinking. They are drinking something different. They are not drinking mixture.
Where's agbo now?
Those ones are doing sciences. Yes, because the issue of agbo is very serious. It is costing us, and we don't know. Virologists have come to show that viruses are local. They grow. They are regional. This corona thing now is not our own. Lassa is our own. People survive it. People die from it. We are not even focusing on it. If we use and the way God created the world, everything that you need to combat your situation is within your environment. But we've killed our own because we did not grow that science. We've decided to import and take everything imported, and it's going to cost us. It's even costing us.
So why don't we then grow our science?
When Ebola came here, a number of people were infected. But the few Nigerians that were, we lost just a few. And it was because they said our immunity was at a particular level. It's not about the number of drugs that was given to us.
So may I even say that, those women who carry all these things, I hear that they put some incantations.
It's not incantation, it's mixture.
I don't know. When they're mixing, they're speaking something. So I wouldn't even allow that come near my children in the first place. What I would advise is, we should start studying our plants. Those ones that have medicinal value to us. Then you can pluck them and, cook them in the house and give. My grandmother used to give that to me. This dogoyaro tree, the bark, lemongrass. It cures, they call it Iba, what we call malaria now. Yes. So if we can understand a bit of all those, we can do the home remedy for your children. That's where you guarantee how it's being made. You guarantee the hygiene involved in it.
This issue of kidney failure, it's all this agbo that we are drinking.
No, it's liver.
No. So you see,
that's the perception.
Kidney failure was not this bad in our children, in our parents and in our grandparents. It is more now because of some of the things we are doing now. For me, my plea is that we need to do more research. Our scientists, we have many people that study sciences, and they should do more research to document these green herbs God has given to us and how we should use it well. So it is because we don't. If it is documented, you will use it.
We're told that they died of natural causes. Many of these things, we don't know exactly what caused the death. This issue of kidney disease has been there for many years. We drink all sorts of concoctions and everything we take, even sugar. It's like everything goes through our kidney. But the point is that it's not that they're getting old. Some of them just died, and suddenly they just we don't know the cause. Yes. Most times was in the next maybe last 30, 40 years. It's like getting the causes of what killed them.
So the point, the British did not throw out their system because their constitution was not written. They managed it, they understood it, they studied it. We just came, and as soon as we were having medical doctors, we just drew a clear distinction between our own and their own. They die of natural causes, so you both said then they die of natural causes. Anything can kill man.
Last time,
now one thing go kill man. Now one thing go kill man. We did not study our own. We did not study what worked, what did not work. What we only knew is that your mothers will say, okay, when this person was having this condition, this was given and it worked. So based on that this was given, have you taken that was given and see how you build it? You know, I saw capsules of our bitter leaf being sold in the US, and they were calling it the best thing that happened to man. Our palm oil being sold and calling it the thing that elongates life. These are the things that we don't abuse finish.
Okay. All right,
then Chinese will come and send their whatever to us. We'll be taking it.
So we're taking ginseng. Everybody afraid to die. I still want to understand it because something must kill a man. There are people who have clean bill of health. They are just walking on the road. A car hits them and they are gone. Why are we bothered about? And I also want to suggest that we can find out ways to clean our system. You know, you stay away from food for a while, like all this intermittent fasting we do. There are healthy ways of handling it. You drink water and no food, just vegetables, fruits. You can do that once in a week, once in 2 weeks. I'm on that therapy now. And it helps just clean out so that you are sure of what you're taking in. You can vouch that this is, for this number of years, I've not taken this medicine, I've not taken this. This is what I have been.
Anyway, so we know
we need to educate our people more.
You know, remember Dr. Odeyemi, the herbal man that came some years ago. He's done a lot of research on this, and these are kind of people we need to bring back. So we would like to project herbal options for us, definitely. But we need to get it right. And we also need to understand why the government is not supporting many of these herbal medicines. So, because as you said, viruses are local. So we can actually develop.
Andrew is saying, Muriah, agbo is the best thing that you can give your children.
And when you live abroad, you always say that.
It will make your system strong.
When you live in Nigeria, you say that.
Wait, now, he's thanking his grandmother for the better agbo. And Rahim says, but it's the same agbo that they used to give us while we were growing up now. If they give our children, so it won't kill them. Not married, but I'm not sure I'd reject agbo.
Always appreciate agbo and all those kind of things that are not available to them. They say, when I was growing up, story.
Chie Menelam says, the in-laws shouldn't be the one to take health issues for my child. Mother should be the one in charge. For me, I hate all the herbal medicine. So if my children are ill of having health issues, I should be contacted to know the nearest thing to do, not my in-laws.
Anything else?
10 instances, this happened to my sister's friend. She got pregnant and her mother took her to the traditional medicine man who gave her soap to bathe, cream to use, and agbo to drink to make the baby strong. Her husband came back from work and saw what they gave to her and insisted his wife
we need to talk about other, this is just one part, we need to talk about other in-law involvement and interventions, or because there was a time where my daughter, anytime I make her hair, we wash her hair, I dry it out and I put the conditioner to make it softer and dry it out so that when it comes to braid, it's softer.
It's easy. Yeah.
But there's some specifics like, no, just let it air dry. Feel it, don't touch it. Like all these things, it will start hurting the child at the time. And so I gave instructions like, please dry out this girl's hair and do this. I said, no, grandma said they shouldn't. And they did not dry out the girl's hair. So when the woman came to come and do the one, oh my goodness, the thing was paining her. And then I put in Uri to try to. I'm like, I give instructions. So these are some of the things where our in-laws or our grandmas make.
Your house help needs to choose who is paying her.
No. Don't.
It's not like that. You simply don't say anything. Okay, the way I do my own. Yes, ma. And when I get home, I go back to status quo. So my mom is smarter now. She knows. Don't be telling Nima, oh, she's stuck in her ways. But if you are telling me and you're in-law, I don't want to be rude. Yes, ma. Oh, that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. You can even buy the product and give me. And when I get home, I'll look at my child very well. Child, you don't know
so
this.
we must talk to our in-laws too. So in-laws should, the best way, like I love YK's style of in-lawship. She will not, if people stay in your house, she'll be coming in the morning, going in the evening. And because you know that, especially in new marriages,
exactly.
In new marriages, they are trying to understand each other. Your input in that marriage is going to be it's putting stress on them. So in-laws should tend to swallow it. You see that she's putting too much salt in the food. It's not your soup now. It's her soup. It's her house. I am preparing myself because I know I'm having children. I have boys. I'll be in-law one day. Anyhow, my in-law decides to cook the soup, I will eat it like that. It's not my house. The kitchen is not your kitchen. It's their kitchen. Respect them.
Please, who gave you the instruction? Who is paying you?
It's not one side.
I told you that this is what I want, and then you listen.
You just keep calm.
I was very calm. I was very calm. I made the girl go through the pain, and then after the next time,
explain the reasons.
Please, these are the reasons. I've been drying my hair since I was 8 years old. Nothing happened to me because her scalp will be frying and the other like.
What about the relationship? How did she feel? So once my daughter had to go to her mother-in-law, and both of them went to the salon. I heard my mother-in-law say, I took my granddaughter to salon. So I missed the fact that I could have been in the middle of that relationship making demands. So sometimes it's about what...
Okay, so we'll talk about those kind of things. When your in-laws get involved in your daily domestic...
They should use wisdom.
Running. So we'll have that conversation and see how we can manage it better. Maybe we'll do it next week or so. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.